Welcome to Section 420, Talkin Yankees, the podcast. Well, the Yankees had a very busy trade deadline. We'll get into all those moves, as well as look at the Seattle Mariners series, where the Yankees unfortunately dropped 2 out of 3. Cole got bombed. But before we do, make sure you subscribe to this podcast. So if you're listening now and you want to get future episodes, you want to get notified, show us somewhere in the page is a subscribe or a follow button. Hit that and get notified when new content goes up throughout the season. So Yankees, kind of interesting week. I think had a very, very, very successful trade deadline. Again, got to give you hats off to Brian Cashman. I mean, brought in a lot of talent here without really giving up any of the what you call the blue chip prospects. I'm not going to go deep dive into all those moves. I'm sure you know by now. Kind of do that for a future episode. Kind of give the postmortem. But of course, Frankie Montas from the A's. Again, there were a couple of main starters out there. Luis Castillo went to the Mariners, and Montas was kind of like the second big name flown out there for a start, and the Yankees were able to secure him, as well as a multiplayer deal that also brought in reliever Lou Trevino. Now remember, we have Jose Trevino. This is Lou Trevino. So same spelling, little different pronunciation of the last name. So Yankees bringing a starter and a reliever who a couple years ago was probably a little, had some better stats, been struggling a little lately, but the Yankees feel there's enough raw material there that maybe they could turn him around. Then even before that, made a move to bring in Cubs right-hand reliever Scott Efros. Now, I thought that maybe they'd bring in Dave Robinson from the Cubs, but I guess they were looking at the Cubs, but not the Cubs reliever. I was looking for Dave Efros, kind of a bit of a sidewinder there. And under control for a couple more years. So, again, another good move by Cashman. They ship out the immortal Joey Gallo. I mean, the writing was on the wall there that either they were going to DFA him or just trade him for a bag of balls. I mean, typically, someone like that who has a major league track record, even though he's struggling, you're not going to send him to the minors. He's not going to probably want to do that anyway. So, but at least the Yankees were able to find a taker for him. So he goes out to L.A. for reliever, I guess, prospect in the minors there, Clayton Beeter. And the last but not least, probably a move that none of us really saw, but if you look at it, it kind of makes sense in a few ways. Trading Jordan Montgomery, again, kind of with the Yankees for quite a while here, to the Cardinals for Harrison Bader. Now, Bader is actually in a boot right now, dealing with like a plantar fasciitis situation, but he is considered one of the best defensive center fielders in the game, so you kind of understand that move. And, it's something I mentioned at the beginning of the year, something the Yankees really kind of needed, kind of a center field / leadoff type hitter. I'm not going to say he's really an ideal leadoff hitter, but definitely someone in center field the Yankees could use. I know they have Tim LoCastro as well, so it's kind of a bit of the same player. But, you're seeing a lot of, Judge having a great season, but, at some point, you're going to want, Judge maybe get off his feet a little bit in September. Again, we'll just see, in terms of if he's dealing with chasing a home run record. But anything kind of late inning defense, especially in the playoffs too. He wants spectacular defense in center field. So, again, that's the situation that Bader could provide. Again, do a little bit more deeper dive with that. But more immediately, the Seattle Mariners came into town. Now, they're a team in the wild card hunt there. Now, the Yankees had a bit of a break. Their best player, Julio Rodriguez, wasn't available for this. Hand injury, was on a 10-day IL. So you figure the Yankees, it would be to their advantage. But unfortunately, Seattle did come in here. Maybe the Yankees a little high off all the trade deadline stuff and, players going in and out of the clubhouse there. And there's all the news. Kind of got knocked off the game a little bit now. They did take the first game there. And the little bright spot there was Domingo Germán getting finally his first win of the season. But to the offense, they got him an early 3-0 lead thanks to a 3-run home run in the first inning by Anthony Rizzo off Marco Gonzalez, a lefty, no matches, so a lefty on lefty violence there. Now, the Mariners did pull it in the second inning. Kyle Lewis with a solo home run in their job, pulled it within 3-1. But then from there, the Yankees just took off. Aaron Judge, again, just what can you say about him? It's his, with DJ LeMahieu went on, hits his 43rd home run of the season, puts the Yankees up 5-1 at the point. And, really got to look at DJ LeMahieu. Look at his stats. Really creeping up there, almost now getting closest to 300. Really starting to heat up there. I think he had a good start to the season, then had a bit of a lull. But you see him getting on base a lot lately, a lot in front of Judge as part of these big, Yankee rallies. Whether he's on, either Judge hits home run or Rizzo hits home run. But you always see DJ in the mix there, so it's just good to see that from DJ. But this, I guess maybe the king of the game will be Jose Trevino. In the fourth inning, Yankees already up 6-2. Hits a home run, and then in the eighth inning, hits another home run, puts the Yankees up 7-2. That'd be a final score, but multi-home run game for Jose Trevino, his first one as a New York Yankee. And some good news there to see both Aroldis Chapman and Jonathan Loáisiga having a clean inning. Just good to see for them because they, especially Chapman's been a little up and down lately, but actually Chapman now a little more consistent. So again, they didn't move Chapman, and they really didn't bring in any, would you say, A1 arms from anywhere else. So they kind of looks like they're going to stick with Chapman there, and looks like he has straightened himself out a little bit. Again, I'm not going to paint roses over him, but a little improvement there, so we're taking baby steps. But again, just good to see Domingo Germán. Not spectacular, but give the Yankees 5 innings, just 2 earned runs, 1 strikeout, 3 walks, but just kind of gets that first win there. Just gonna get him on the roll again. Severino now actually they moved him back. He's actually on down to the 60-day IL, so it looks like he's not gonna be back till September. So it looks like this is gonna be Germán's role for a while, and also the fact that they shipped out Jordan Montgomery probably just to make room. And Montgomery, let's kind of get back to him for a second. Had been struggling a little bit in July. In 6 starts, no wins, and the Yankees actually lost all the games he started. So, a couple of months ago, he was kind of getting on a good roll there, but just a lackluster July. A couple of games where, you just, have it for a few innings, and the 4th, 5th inning just implode. So, again, maybe just part of the reason that the Yankees are just looking to ship now. Maybe just figure out this is the best he's going to be. I don't know what else for him. We need room on this in the starting rotation, so let's ship him out. So again, this looks like this is going to be Germán's job for a while until Sevy comes back. And when Sevy does come back, who knows? Again, what I suggested previously, maybe Sevy comes back as a bullpen arm, someone just for the 7th, 8th inning, just to blow people away with his fastball. But again, let's not get too ahead of ourselves. So brought the Yankees down to Game 2, and this game is a bit of a concern. One just for Tyone, just absolutely terrible. Now, his previous start against the Royals, technically he didn't give up any runs, but he was grinding the whole game. He gave the Yankees 6 innings, but it was a struggle. Got out a lot of jams. Again, had a very, very friendly strike zone by the umpire there. Both teams did, but definitely Tyone. And he got a lot of cold third strikes on some balls that you maybe a little outside there. But not the case here. He kind of got slapped around. Ended up giving up 3 home runs in the first 2 innings. The Yankees were in a 4-0 hold by the 4th inning. Finally, the Yankees got on board thanks to a double by Donaldson, cut the deficit to 4-1. And that man Trevino, who had 2 home runs the previous game, with a 2-run home run of his own with Donaldson on, pulled the Yankees with 4-3. Now down 6-3 in the 6th. Rizzo, also with a home run in that first game, hits a solo shot, pulls the Yankees to 6-4. And then Donaldson, who got the Yankees started with an RBI earlier in the game with Matt Carpenter on, hits a 2-run home run. So if a lot of people say, hey, Donaldson, he never gets a big hit, never getting a big spot, hitting a big clutch 2-run home run at that point, tying the game 6-6. You figure, all right, here comes the Yankee machine. They're coming back. But unfortunately, this would not be a night for the Yankees. With Lucas Luetge on, pinch hitter Sean Haggerty, pinch hit home run off of Luetge in the top of the 7th, put Seattle up 7-6 at that point. And then in the bottom of the 9th, Seattle attack on another run. Yankees down 8-6. Had a little bit of a 2-out rally there with a bunch of walks and bases loaded. And you figure, all right, maybe we'll get a double here, maybe get a grand slam, walk-off grand slam, or at least a single that could at least score 2 runs to tie the game. But no, Andres Munoz was able to get it out of the jam. And again, the Yankees squandered a bases loaded opportunity. So even the Yankees, for the most part, even though they lose a game, there's always a 9th inning rally there where they just come up short. Either they come through and have a comeback win, or they at least make it interesting. So they made it interesting, just want to lose it. But the story here is Tyone, terrible. Couldn't get out of the 5th inning, goes 4 2/3 innings. With 2 hits, 5 earned runs. We killed him here with 4 walks, 6 strikeouts, but 4 walks. And, you kind of worried about Tyone a little bit. Is he hitting the wall a little bit? Decent in the Royals game, but again, he grinded a lot. It was difficult for him. And if you look at Tyone, his last good start was before the All-Star break. It was that Saturday game against Boston Red Sox. And even that game early on, he wasn't that good, but then he kind of settled down, only ended up giving up 1 earned run. And as long as he's healthy, that's okay. But again, Frankie Montas just come to this Yankee starting rotation, just give him a little shot in the arm, much needed at this time, which now brings the Yankees to Game 3. And interestingly, this was going to be the debut of Luis Castillo. Again, he was probably the main big arm out there on the trade market. He ends up going to Seattle, and this was going to be his first start against the New York Yankees. It's kind of ironic against the Yankees ace Garrett Cole. Unfortunately, Cole just did not show up for this game at all. In the first inning, this got absolutely bombarded. Started off the game giving up a single and a walk, and then Eugenio Suarez with a 3-run home run put Seattle on the board, 3-0 very early. And then it just didn't stop there. Carlos Santana, the veteran, added a solo shot, and then Jared Kelenic hitting 130. It's a 130 hit. I know there's a couple home runs, but still a 130 hitter. He also hits a home run, puts the Yankees down in a 6-0 hole very early. Again, Cole bombed early on. And I mentioned this before in previous, rants and episodes. You always have this one inning from Cole lately where he just doesn't have it. Happened in his previous start against the Royals. He was cruising around fine. And in the 5th inning, gave up all the runs, like almost all the runs he gave up in the game was just in that one inning. And we've seen this plenty of time from Cole. very puzzling. You remember the game in Detroit? He had to be pulled out of the second inning. Then you had that one game in Minnesota, gave up like three consecutive solo home runs. So you just have these starts by Cole this season. Again, overall having a good season, but it just seems like he has that one inning each of these games where he just gets absolutely mobbed. Because the rest of his game, he was fine. He settled down, he was fine. I mean, Seattle did scratch another run across, but it was just that one first inning, give up the 6 runs. It's just been a bizarre season from Cole. Now, IKF did get the Yankees on the board, kind of fluffed with an RBI single. In the second inning, scoring Benintendi made the game 6-1. But this game was really, the Yankees really never shot. Down 7-1 in the bottom of the 7th. Higgy doing the catching duties that night with a run on, hit a 2-run home run, pulled the Yankees in a little close to 7-3, but that would be your final score. And again, the Yankees never really had a good shot in this game. Again, Cole's put him in the hole early. They couldn't go to the bullpen early there, so he was able to tough it out. Gave the Yankees at least 6 innings, but 7 hits, 6 runs, three of those earned from a home run. Did give up a walk and 8 strikeouts. I mean, he's going to strike a lot of guys out because he's Cole, but still, just got absolutely ambushed there in the first inning, and the Yankees never able to cut it. And his counterpart Castillo, decent enough, went 6 2/3 innings, surrendered 5 hits, 3 earned runs. Again, one of them being the 2-run home run from Higgy, but a decent start enough. 6 2/3 innings, 8 strikeouts, 3 walks, and just 3 earned runs, and he gets the win over Cole. Cole dropping now to 9-4. Again, Seattle kind of takes it to the Yankees. And again, Seattle, coming in here again, they didn't have Rodriguez, but again, they're fighting for a wild card spot. They just got Castillo. Defensively, they were excellent. And you knew that coming in there. So the Yankees kind of taken a little bit by surprise here and drop 2 out of 3 games. So the Yankees now going to embark on quite a little bit of a long road trip here. Starts off in St. Louis. And interesting enough, now the way it lined up, that now Nestor Cortez is going to start the first opening game for the Yankees. And as it reads, possibly Montgomery might be starting for that first game. So just ironically enough, the Yankees might be facing Montgomery in his first game now in a Cardinal uniform. Or if it's not that Friday game, it might be one of the next 2 following games. It seems like Monty's lined up for that. So a little interesting there. And Monty was kind of taken by surprise after the game. He was kind of heartbroken. I understand he came up with the Yankee system, been here a little bit, had the Tommy John surgery and battled back. And again, overall, for the most part, was having a decent season for the Yankees this year. But I guess it's, they figure, look, this is as good as he's going to be. He's never going to be a superstar. And look, we need room on the starting rotation. We're not going to put him down in AAA. So it's like, what do you do with the guy? And I guess for whatever reason, they just value Herman more there, because we've seen Herman be an 18-game winner. We've seen Herman do more, again, when he was healthy or not, when not, suspended for that whole domestic incident. So I guess they just value Herman a little higher there and decided that it was just the right time to part ways with Montgomery. And, of course, the big cheese there, Juan Soto, ends up going to San Diego with Josh Bell, and San Diego really loading up. Not only they land Soto and Bell, but also pick up reliever Hader from Milwaukee, the tough left-hander there. So they're definitely making a push. Mets really do much. Just pick up like a couple of bullpen arms like that. So you would think with Stevie Cohen and all that, maybe want to make a big splash, but they kind of kept quiet. But the Yankees again had a very effective trade deadline, brought in a top line starter, which right now looks like they need it because you're seeing some guys like Tyone hit the wall a little bit. And Cole, again, I'll say Cole's tired or having an issue, but, I think anytime you could bring in a top line starter like that, it just helps everybody. The Benintendi move, of course, way before that, very good, excellent. Scott Efros, let's see, again, good stuff with the Cubs. Let's see if he can do it in New York. I'm sure he'll be fine. Again, have the center field Beta. Again, you kind of have that a little bit with Tim LaCastro, but again, he's a top line defensive center field guru there. So hopefully he gets on his feet soon there. And of course, as we all know, shipping Gallo out of town. Just at this point, it was getting rough. It was getting ugly. Fans were getting on him. He was just making bizarre comments like he knew the writing was on the wall. So at that point, you just got to move something like that. Not saying he's a bad person or a toxic person, but you got to move him out of the clubhouse and then put him away. So moving forward now, got this long road trip, in the league action. And the fun starts off at St. Louis, a great baseball town, great baseball fans, great stadium there. So it's going to be fun to watch. And of course, the Cardinals, they were kind of in the Soto hunt a little bit. So they didn't end up in Soto, but again, they're looking for a postseason run themselves. So it should be a good competitive series, 3-game series. So we'll catch you again. As mentioned before, if you subscribe, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you soon. Thanks.